it's really hard to do when they're not the same. The same thing is true when you're talking about fractions. If I'm over here and I have my two rectangles and I divided one like into quarter pieces like this, and I divided this one into half, I'd be left asking myself, which one's larger? I think the one on the bottom is larger, but I'm not totally sure. Largely because they're not the same size piece that we're talking about, not the same size rectangle, and they're also not lined up together. So we're going to work on that today using fractions, using a number line, and then we're going to look to see whether we can find out whether they are greater than, less than, or equal to. And that word for equal to when we're talking about fractions is this idea of equivalence. We'll get more into that a little bit later. So let's start by taking our number lines. I'm just going to take two of them here, and I'm going to make again on here my vertical lines for zero. I got to find zero on here, and then I got to place one. It's really important that these are in roughly about the same space. This way, when I can look at it, that no matter what, these are here lined up, and I know that one is the same as one. One is equal to one, right? Um, Here, I could work up on the top and decide that I want to go and I want to look at, say, 3/4. Now, on the bottom here, I'm going to try and do instead something like, say, let's look at 4/8. Okay. So on the top, I need to divide this into four pieces, right? Because I know my unit fraction here says that it's made in fourths. I have three of the 1/4 pieces. So again, we'll start on the top. I'll make my first piece here where my line goes. I'm going to go over here for my second piece and over here. And I'll label them on my number line. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. And I'll even label my one whole. In this case, it is 4/4 or 4/4. Down here on the bottom, I'm going to continue to do that where I'm going to go down here. Now I've got four of these eighth pieces. And I would think to myself, well, there are four of them, so there's got to be larger, right? Let's find out. Here again, I start with my fourths and then I go down here to divide them into equal pieces so that now I've got eight of them. This is 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and finally on the end, 8/8. Okay. As I look at them, it makes it really easy for me to determine which one is smaller or larger. So let's highlight it. 3/4 here is at this spot on our number line. And down below, 4/8 is here. And I can tell that because 3/4 is closer to 1, that this one here is going to be larger. So when I write that, I can look over here and go 3/4 is greater than 4/8. Remember, the alligator is always going to eat the one that's larger. Okay. So here I can tell that because when I look and I do my dotted line up, I know that, oh, you know what? This would be about where 2/4 is. Or if I looked at 5/8 here compared to it, oh, still smaller. But if I did this here for 7/8 here, I might say 7/8 is greater than 3/4. Okay. Give that a shot yourself as you come down here on two number lines. I want you to take a look at 2/3 and let's see how that compares to say 2/6.